Sharpen your horns and ready your C4. The Bulls and the Demolition are up next. Champ League action here on the MLE Network. Again, I am Ninja Rider. With me tonight is the always excellent Chimblade, who is battling some itches, man. You were having a rough time over there.
I have a foot itch, and it's like can we not talk about it? It just makes me remember that I have a foot itch. Let's not talk about the itch at all. Forget I have an itch. I'm not currently itching my foot under the desk, I promise.
You're totally not doing that, of course. I would like to welcome in the always awesome Mrs. Jimmer. If you've never met this fine lady, fantastic. We got a cheerleading squad here for the Bulls. Bondo and her husband, Jimmer, about to take the field. Bondo and pretty much has become an MLD staple when it comes to playing out onto the pitch. Went up against the Ducks. I think, was it last season or season before? Unfortunately, he did fall, but he's learned a lot. He's made it into the Champions League to head up the Bulls. Going to be an awesome matchup. We have two newcomers on the Demolition in Mage and Stovads. Haven't seen them play yet. I'm really anxious to see how they do here.
Yeah, I mean, their whole team is new to playing. Jimmer was the coach as well. For what was the team that Jimmer was the coach for?
The Aviators.
The Aviators, there you go. So
Jimmer,
season, I don't think he's played yet, right? This is his first season actually playing. Previously, yes. He was just a coach. So we'll see how the transition from coach to player treats him.
And having played against Jimmer and with Jimmer, he's a fantastic player. Should mesh well with Bondo and his style. Again, Mage and Stovad's pretty much the variables here in this matchup. I'm so curious to see how they've meshed over the last couple of weeks since the draft. And I'm sure their captain has been working them hard to make sure that they do well here in the week one. We're just waiting for players to join the field. A beautiful, beautiful Manfield Snowy.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't appreciate this as much as I do. It's probably you're used to it now, but the colors that you guys use, nobody else does that, and for some reason, it just makes it look so much better and refreshing, as opposed to always saying orange and blue. And it also prevents me from saying the boys in blue every time, because there is not always a blue team. So I can't say the boys in blue every other game.
There's only 2 or 3 teams that you can do that, but we are underway here. Game 1 action here. Expecting some serious skill on display here. It's Bondo. Pass over to Jimmer. Shooting it in.
Well done from the Bulls. And once again, this is the Champion League. We moved on from the Platinum over to the Champion, so expect the action to be just a little bit quicker like it was there. And once again, a beautiful pass. Bondo to Jimmer to the back of the net. Works out wonderfully for the Bulls. Demolition, it's only been 15 seconds, so they've got pretty much the full game to make back to make that 1 goal back, and they should be able to do it right here. A pass downwards. Demolition equalizes in just 5 seconds. We're back where we started 1-1.
The speed at which these 4 players play compared to the Platinum League is immediately prevalent. 20 seconds in, we're tied at 1. We might have a shootout on our hands. Old-fashioned Texas standoff. I mean, Texas was under snow for a little while, so I guess it works. I don't know, whatever.
It's a stretch, but you know what? We like you enough that we'll say it works. There's Mage. Off the crossbar. Almost finds top 90. Stovad's coming through, looking to clean up, but he has forgotten his mop and his broom. Back at the house. 40 seconds gone. 1-1 still holds. There's Bondo looking to sneak it underneath. There's Mage, though, to push this one outwards. And Bondo, a quick cut on his rotation to keep himself up the pitch, to keep himself putting on the pressure. Once again, there he is. Throws one onto net. Mage, though, will be able to clear this one away quite easily. And Jimmer pushed up the pitch once again on the shot on net. And just look at how well-positioned the Bulls are to never, ever lose the ball at the midfield.
Completely, but a great pass here. Stovets needs to get control quickly. Mage coming up to help out right now. Shot. Not wide enough. Bulls have a chance. Jimmer looking for the breakaway. Oof. Just missing. I mean, it literally hit the corner. Shots are a-flying here as Bondo trying to take some control here. Stovets will miss. Kind of an awkward position there for the ball here. Pass out to Mage. Good doink. Oh, not good enough, as now the goal is open. Stovets can't quite get there in time. Bondo finds the second one.
Yeah, well done from Bondo there. And once again, Jimmer is the one who's just putting on shot after shot, and Bondo is usually waiting around a little bit behind Jimmer at times and trying to clean up on the shots that are rebounded or the shots that are deflected. And it's working out nicely for the Bulls. 3:18 to go, Ninja, and we saw how back and forth that first game was. Hopefully this one is just as back and forth. It's looking like it's going to line up to be just that. They're trading 1 for 1 evenly, 2-2 here.
Mage was able to just barely get that touch and get the slight pinch on Stovad's Bulls. Went for a demo and some little bit of positioning errors. They're trying to play so fast, and it's not that smooth, calculated, procedural play that we saw between our previous matchup. You can tell they're a little bit all over each other, some communication issues. I know Jimmer's a little quiet on the comms. Bondo's maybe just not quite used to it. Week 1 jitters coming through here for the Bulls. They tie up at 2. Stovads rotates in, a great save. See what he can do with it. Jimmer grabbing some boost. He can't cut in time, and that's another one for the Demolition.
And Demolition keeping up the pressure. Like we said, they're just going to trade back 1 for 1, and they're continuing to do that. And we've seen Demolition try to take advantage of these counterattack plays multiple times, and they're finally able to secure one. They notice that Bondo and Jimmer, as good as they may be at winning balls in the midfield, when they do lose the balls in the midfield, they are completely exposed because of how far they're pushed up. So if you can win a ball in the midfield against these guys, you almost always have a free net, and you're pretty much guaranteed only 1 defender. You're almost never going to see 2 defenders in it after winning in the midfield.
Insanity happening on pitch, and insanity happening in the chat. Killer Penguin with a 3,000-bit donation as Mage towards the net. No, not quite. Barely off the post. Still have that 1 goal lead here as we have just surpassed halftime. Towards the net again is Mage. Jimmer able to pick up. Off the ceiling. He's going to lose control here. The Bulls getting super aggressive. They are not letting anything hold them back. Uh-oh. Not a great touch by Bondo. Mage takes one for the team. Jimmer able to get back in time, barely. Good challenge by Stovads. Keep it on the offensive end, and everybody's breathing at this point.
Yeah, that was a little scary for Jimmer and Bondo, but Jimmer did the work to get it back, and that one just sneaks right behind Bondo. He turns his head around 180 degrees and sees the ball fly back towards his own net. 4-2. Finally, the 1 margin difference has been broken. What is the Bulls? Sorry, I was going to ask you, what is the Bulls' job? They kept it close, and they only were down by 1, and for the first time ever, Demolition has broken that, and now they're up by 2. So how does the Bulls change? How do they react to this? What's their win condition?
They seem to be really antsy whenever they're not on the offense. They start to group up, and this being 2s and the fact that everybody's in comms and everybody practices together, they're able to just communicate that and make sure that the Demolition are able to take advantage of those little mistakes, and every little mistake just gets compounded here at the MLD. You really get known as Mage slams this one home off the backboard. Fantastic play by the Demo.
Yeah, Mage pulling out his favorite spell, double touch, and it works out beautifully. 5-2 for Demolition. 10 shots on net, only 6 from the Bulls, and it's showing on the pitch as well. You just see how much pressure the Bulls are being faced with, and they're having trouble breaking out of it. That's not the best touch there from Bondo and Stovads. Easy enough from him. Textbook, really. 6-2 for Demolition.
Bondo just, I don't know if he's tilting a little bit right now. He just did not get a great touch on that. Jimmer took the kickoff, so he's completely out of the play at that point. Bondo trying to go for some risky plays, and you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but in this case, at least in this game, it really just has not. Bondo not realizing the ball is lurking right in front of his net. Jimmer to make the save. Ooh, boy, Mobile coming in hot. Now a shot from downtown. Jimmer trying to claw his way back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a difficult journey back up if they want to tie it. They've got 55 seconds, 3 goals to make up. Very rarely do you see that, but hey, today is just as good as any day to be amazing, be awesome, be different, and make people's jaws drop down to the floor. 50 seconds to go. Can they find 3 goals? There's Jimmer putting one towards the net. Mage, though, will pay one out towards the right side. Bondo following up. He knows what his job is, to just always follow through, double commit consistently, really, at this point. That's the one hope they really have. If they commit 2 players to every single ball forward, they can maybe find 3 shots, and if they can get lucky enough for all 3 of those to go in, it could be the start of something great. But that one will go off the crossbar. Save needed now from Mage. He'll play one out towards the wings, as he knows that's the best way to die down the clock. Just play it to the corners and keep this Bulls team out of his own half, and it's working out nicely, Ninja. 14 seconds, 3 goals. It's all but over. That one is a good start, but still 6.5 seconds per goal.
Yeah, tough ask indeed, but Bondo right here just managing to follow through on his shot. Stovets, it was a tough one to read. I think he thought the ball was going to head towards the far side. So Bondo shoots it near side and just ends up throwing Stovets right on his heels. No way to defend for him. And now, the big ask. Bondo comes racing in. He's not going to get there in time. That's going to do it, Jim.
Yeah. I mean, at least they got that 4th goal, right? I mean, it's much better to look at the scoreboard and say we only lost by 2 goals as opposed to we lost by 3 goals. As simple as that may sound, it's definitely somewhat of a confidence booster to look at the scoreline and only see a 2-goal difference, because a 2-goal difference is a difference that you can make up from one game to another. And we'll see if the Bulls can do it. I certainly think they can heading into Game 2 of this series.
They need to make some adjustments for sure. Both players kind of double committing in weird places. There's definitely communication that has improved. We saw Jimmer actually be called off from Bondo on one of those last plays. But need to start listening to each other, need to communicate where you're at, and make sure that if someone's taking a shot, to get out of the way.
We'll see if they can make that adjustment, if they can communicate a little bit better. And you mentioned it, right? You've played with Jimmer before. He's a bit quiet on the comms, and we'll see if Bondo can adapt to that. Because sometimes, maybe like Cooksey or somebody who is known for being very, very quiet was a great player, and still is a great player. So we'll see if Bondo can adapt to that style of a quieter player. Mage, though, does not want to see that happen. He's going to keep Demolition up, putting in goal 1 in Game 2.
Jimmer went for some boots. I think he thought that ball was going to head much more closer to the backboard than it did as it bounced off the curve of that wall. Threw it a little bit weird. Bondo had to react quickly. No way that was going to happen. Demolition are on it again. Pass out to Bondo. Stopped by Stovads. Not going to go in. Tries to follow through. Not going to work. Jimmer breaks up the play before Mage can get there. Stovads again towards the net, as Jimmer just has his eye on the ball right now. Past Mage. Stovads is up, throws it towards his own corner. Great play by him, but it's right into Bondo's horns. Slams it home.
If it hit his horns, wouldn't the ball pop or get stuck onto his horns? That's just a thought. I might be wrong, and maybe horns was the right. I'm just thinking, right? Like if it hits a horn, it should pop or get stuck. Kebabbed onto it.
Kebabbed.
Kebabbed onto it, right? Is that not, maybe that's not how that works. I don't know.
Bondo confirmed. Bondo is Captain Kebab as Mage carries one from the sidewall, not even contested.
Yeah, what an air dribble. We were talking about Kebabs, and Mage is over. He's over with food right now. He wants Rocket League. Great air dribble all the way from the wall from Mage, putting us up 2-1, and it works out very well for Demolition. They have found the lead yet again, and we saw Game 1. A very, very action-packed opening minute. Then it died down a little bit, but in the end, it was 10 goals overall in 5 minutes. So we're seeing 2 goals a minute on average from these guys. We'll see if they can hold up that average in Game 2.
Bondo, right to Stovads, into his own corner and wrapped around. Being bullied by Stovads was Bondo, but now again, same corner. Mage trying to get some control here. This is dangerous in front of his net. Bondo can't wrap himself around the ball, so no shot coming out. Bumps galore all over the place. Big dunk by Stovads. That'll clear it away. 3:40 left. Demolition generally stopped by the Bulls at this point. Now it's getting dangerous again. Oh, a pinch. Popped up. Jimmer up. He'll whiff. Bondo was called off, so he has to get out of there quickly. Mage, what can he do? He's low on boost. And it's going to be a pinch. Actually works out to be a decent back pass. Stovads can get above the ball enough to make it work. Jimmer again off the wall. Ball seeing a lot of the side of the field. It's kind of cool to see the wall being used so much here at the MLD. Don't see it too often.
Well, I mean, you saw how Mage scored that last goal right from the wall. So obviously Mage, especially, all 4 of these players are very comfortable playing it off the wall. For them, it's pretty much the same thing as the ground, just rotated 90 degrees, a little bit to the left or right. There's Jimmer missing out. Bondo's there as well, popping one out towards the ceiling. He has to rotate back quickly though, as Stovads had an opportunity for a very powerful and accurate shot. He could not pull it off, but now it's Mage, and it seemed like it was a very even battle, and somehow one small difference just allowed Demolition to put that one in.
You know, Jimmer just flipped around the ball a little bit and having that Batmobile, the flat car. I mean, it's his main car. It's not something abnormal for him to use, but ended up just going up and around the ball. Mage just got a solid hit on it and rolled it right in. Jimmer again towards the net. What can he do with it? Low on boost, slams it home.
Yeah, well done from Jimmer. You called it, right? Low on boost, but he still made the best of it. He had 40 boost as soon as he hits that ball, and he uses most of it just to get the right angle on it to beat Mage. And a very good example of economizing on your boost. He had less than half, but he still made it work when his opponent Mage was sitting at with more boost than he was, and it worked out well from them. Half the game gone, 3-2 now. The Bulls only down by 1. We saw them lose by 2 in the last game. They went down 6-2, and they're also struggling on the scoreboard. There's Stovaz looking to sneak one over to Mage. He finds Mage on the end of it, but Bondo will keep the pressure out for now. As I say that, he may have just own goaled it, but the shot did come from Stovaz.
Bondo making Inanimate J proud right here. Stovaz nowhere near accurate, but Bondo rolling through, trying to get back onto the defense, slams it home on his own net. That's unfortunate for him. Now it's that 2-goal lead. It just seems to kill the Bulls right now.
And we talked about how Demolition won for game 1 6-4. They also won it on the scoreboard in terms of shot. They put on 12 shots. Bulls only put on 10 shots. And in this game, the Bulls are able to keep it even. 3-3 so far in terms of shots on net. But the scoreline completely different. There it is. Stovaz with the delayed flick. Almost floats one into the back of the net. Can't do it, though. And now it's Jimmer's chance to rotate outwards. If he gets a second touch, could be good, which he does. Mage has rotated back in time. Now Bondo to find the back post. Instead, it goes towards the front door, and Mage is waiting for him. There's Stovaz looking for a touch on net. Will not find it. Jimmer is back with possession.
Slow play. Like it.
Jimmer off the ceiling. Will drop back and down. There's nobody home, but nobody to attack either. Jimmer, again, he seems to just be half a second behind the plays at times. He knows where to go, but it takes him a bit too long to figure it out. It was a minute 15 seconds to go to correct their mistakes. So far, this is an opening, and they have to take care of this now. Bondo towards the near post. He cannot get there quickly, and he decides that boost was the problem, so he'll go ahead and steal away the boost from the other side. Nice save from Jimmer there.
Bondo to pick it up. Less than a minute left. They need to score right now in order to alleviate some of this pressure. Jimmer went for the pinch. Not going to work out. Mage finally cleared this one away, but the Bulls grouped up again. It's like I heard of him. What's going on here? Mage can't quite follow it up. Stovaz, he's going to let it roll. Here's Bondo. Can't do anything with it. He's just going to leave it. Back pass? Nope, not going to happen. Mage comes through to slam it away. 30 seconds left. Time is really winding down here. The Bulls need to regroup.
Yeah, so the Bulls struggle to find the comeback. They had a minute to score 3 goals in game 1. They couldn't do it. They did score 1, though, and now they've got 16 to score 2. See if history holds true and they once again fail to make up the loss. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it. They've got 5 seconds. Goals is not happening unless Jimmer pulls off a miracle here, which he will not. And that means that that's now 2 wins for Demolition. And another thing to note about this series is that if either team wins this with 4-1 or 5-0, they'll become the division leaders. So 2 more game wins in this series of 5 from Demolition, and they'll be the leaders in their division.
That's because of last night's matches. The Bulls just having a really hard time right now. You can see Bondo taking some time to make sure that he's talking to Jimmer, make sure everything's good to go. Mrs. Jimmer's probably yelling in the other room, and it might be a little bit distracting. He's trying to cheer on her man, and it's all good. It's all good and well, I'm sure. But Bulls regroup. They're grouping up a little bit too much. They're making some good touches. It's quality's there. It's just the team chemistry's doesn't seem to be there just yet.
Yeah, but they do have time, right? They play all 5, which is the great thing about a series of 5 as opposed to a best of 5 is that you get all 5 games no matter what. So even if you lose them all, at least you can learn from all 5 of them, as opposed to just losing in 3 and not being able to have the learning that you would games 4 and 5. So hopefully they're able to take away at least a game. They would prefer to take away 2 games in this series of 5 because that way Their opponents will not be the division leaders, but we'll see. Only time will tell. 4:42 remaining here in game number 3. It has just started. There's Mage out towards the wall, and the second touch won't be happening, so he's going to back off. I mean, Jimmer has got possession. Jimmer, an inside touch, might just do it here. His teammate is a bit behind the play. Bondo will be there, but not there in time. Mage has the defensive stop. Jimmer out towards the far post. Ricochets out the near post. He needs to finish this one off. Bondo's not there. Now Stovaz, if he's off to the races in time, he will have the opening goal of game 3. He is not off to the races in time, though, and that means
Jimmer.
Still 0-0.
Stovaz had another chance there, but Jimmer was able to knock it away. Bondo needs to wheel it around towards the wall, see if he can play off of it. Gets a bit of a doink. Tries to set it up for Jimmer. Fast play not working out. For Mage to take control. Popped it up above Jimmer. Bondo is tracking. Good idea. Kept it away from the goalie box. Towards the net. Mage will whiff, and Bondo finds the first one here in game 3.
A great shot there from Bondo. Usually that shot sometimes will be placed purposely higher because you have faith in the defender to save it and you're setting up your teammate, but Bondo went for the shot and it turned out to be the right decision. This is a good start for the Bulls. They've lost both games so far, and scoring first might just be the confidence booster they need to carry some momentum to the remaining 3 minutes and 35 seconds. As we say that, though, Demolition just swings it back the other way for themselves, now equalized 1-1.
And Jimmer found himself on the wrong side of this play. He tried to cheat up with Bondo. Just didn't work out at all. That's the danger of cheating up in twos. You don't really see it too much. The Bulls electing to play super aggressive. Maybe a change of tack is needed to go up against the Demolition.
Yeah, this hyper aggression might just be what they're looking for as well. There's Bondo looking to sneak it in. He was positioned back post and he had the shot as well, but the angles were covered well enough that Bondo really couldn't shoot anywhere because he was just being stuffed out all the way around. There's Mage putting one on net. Jimmer, nice save from him on that Batmobile. We talked about it, the plank hitbox style. There's Mage popping one up to himself. He probably won't get the third touch, and instead Bondo has got possession now for his team, looking to center one up for Jimmer, who's a bit too far up, and this means a counterattack is due. There's Stovads, finds the back post, rolls it in. Once again, hyper aggression is great, but not when you get counterattacked on so often.
It really feels like the Bulls are playing threes right now. They're super aggressive at the ball. They're just having a really hard time with positioning and things of that nature. On the flip side, Demolition just kind of playing super patient, letting the Bulls do their thing and react accordingly.
Yeah, and the reactions from Demolition are always explosive. They're always quick and they're always on time. They don't linger around. When they have a counterattack opportunity, when they have any opportunity really, they just take it instantly.
So what you're saying is they're well fused and they light it at the right time.
Yes, I set you up for that one, didn't I?
You did, totally.
Well, thanks for taking it. There's Jimmer on the dribble, looking for the ground pinch if he can find it. Instead, gets slipped away by Stovads. Mage will pop one up instead, and once again, you see Bulls looking to be very aggressive, setting themselves up like they were playing threes and they have that member back, but they don't. There's no goalkeeper back, so unless they can play a perfect game of boost control and possession control, they're going to get counterattacked on. They're going to leave empty goals like this, and it's going to be the end of the world for them. 3-1 now for Demolition.
You see Jimmer and Bondo both going for it. No communication. Jimmer probably should have called off Bondo so Bondo could get back into a proper position, possibly far post, maybe even go up the other side of the wall, but lots of options, and the Bulls, you can tell they need some practice. I know Jimmer works a lot. Maybe they weren't able to scrim much, but Bondo showing a lot of improvement over last season. If you want to take away something, it's definitely that. Oh, an unfortunate pinch. Bar down and in.
That almost didn't work out, but it did. And Demolition has found goal number 4. That one is unfortunate. I really still want to... I want the scoreline to show 3-1 because I don't want to count that one. But, you know, what can you do? It went in the back of the net. It has to be counted as according to the game code. 4-1 for Demolition. And Bulls, it's looking grimmer and grimmer by the minute. They've got 1 minute and 42 seconds now to get back this 3-goal deficit. We'll see if they can do it. It's all up to them. It's their game to win now. 1 minute and 32 to go.
Jimmer net tried. And he's going to try again. Bondo, no, Stovaz will come in. That's a great pass to Mage. Can you make it work? Oh, he just couldn't quite get control of it. And Jimmer super patient on that play. It was about time we started to see some patience from the Bulls. They seem to maybe have learned their lesson. We'll have to see as play continues.
There's Bondo popping one up to himself, and Stovaz is there at this point, and I think Demolition knows what their job is. Don't play too passively, but don't play so aggressively that you make silly mistakes. Sit near the midfield, deflect the balls, play them back into the corners. Don't really have to commit 2 members ever. Right now, Mage is the only person committing to the ball. Stovaz still sitting in the midfield, deciding if he wants to go up. He decides this is a good play to go up on, and he's right. 5-1. Demolition now increasing their lead for, the Bulls. What do they have? 44 seconds to score 4 goals.
And for those that don't know the MLD, how many goals you score does come into play if there is a tiebreaker or any of that nature. I think there's an award for it for player who scored most goals at the end of the season. So if they end up in some sort of a tiebreaker to figure out who heads to the finals, the Stovaz takes the back pass from Mage to score another one with a Brazil setup. You want to score as many goals as possible whenever you can, because, like I said, tiebreakers come in, but Stovaz is reading the play well and slamming it home. Chim, you got them swim trucks going, man? You got the surfboard?
Is it because we're going to a certain country in South America, or is that just a non-context question?
Also both.
Cool. They are ready. Yes. Yeah, they are ready. They're all packed. Hopefully we go there, or maybe we don't. I mean, it depends on whose side you're on, but we're already there. Welcome to Rio de Janeiro. 7-1. Demolition up by 6 now. And like you said, in this league format, this goal is important. It doesn't matter that they've won, right? That we've got that in the books. But say goal 8, goal 9, goal 10 even, those could come into play once we get to those tiebreaker scenarios.
Yeah, no, they really can. It's come into play a few times here at the MLD, and that's why you never relent. Bondo trying, not going to work out. And again, the reverse is the same for the Bulls. They might be having an off game, but if they can score as many goals as they can, it might come into play as well.
Yeah, so far they have struggled. The most they scored was in Game 1 when they put on 4 goals rather. And then Game 2 they scored 2, and now they're continuing in that downward trend, that negative slope. They're now only at 1 goal in a full game. That was Game 3, and this means, like we talked about before, if Demolition wins any of the next 2 games, they're going to be the division leaders.
Yeah, it's early in to the season, and trying to get that early lead is always helpful, especially when you start going up against opponents that counter your style of play, and have that confidence that you're sitting up top really comes in handy. That said, Bondo, Jimmer have 2 more games to try to correct their mistakes and see if they can salvage anything from this series. Which, I mean, they're capable enough to do it. They need to execute, and they're having massive problems with that.
It's really interesting how the Bulls are the team that look like they're playing more aggressively. They're positioned for more aggressive play, and they seem to double commit more, but they have continuously put on less shots on their opponents every single game. Last game, for example, where they just looked insanely hyper-aggressive, they put on 7 shots, whereas Demolition put on 9. So even though Demolition is not positioned to be as aggressive, because of the amount of counterattacks that they are able to make, they end up with more shots on net, and it's working out in their favor.
Kind of back and forth action right now, Jim. It's been not necessarily ping-ponging, but some mistakes here and there, and the Bulls have not been able to put a ball anywhere near the net until just now. Demolition doing a fantastic job of making sure they come off the goal line exactly when they need to. That could have been a pass from Mage. Jimmer challenges and the ball squirts out to the side. Bondo challenges properly. Jimmer looking for the redirect. Not much power on it, and it will be off. Bulls playing super aggressive again. They're finding themselves on the wrong side of the ball. Again, they need to clean up this act.
Yeah, and they've got 2 games to do it. 2 games to get themselves some points on the leaderboards. There's Bondo. Won't be there in time. That means Stovaz is there instead. Center will be stuffed away by Jimmer, thankfully. Mage keeping the pressure high for his team. Will take away this boost as well. Pops one back. Neat little doink there. Perfect pass to Stovaz. Stovaz, though, not expecting a pass of that caliber, and Has to rotate back out now. Jimmer's ball to push forward. Stovaz from the corner will clear this one out and away. Bondo looking to attack, and he will. Second touch in the air. Opts to not go for it, actually. Instead, allows Mage to make the mistake here and clear it too close to his own goal line. Jimmer, though, cannot capitalize, and that means that Mage is off to the races. Is he into the net? He is not. It's off the post, and thankfully for Bulls, we are still 0-0.
Bondo looking to retaliate. It's not going to work out. Stovats gets the clear. Mage relieving the pressure that is Jimmer. Jimmer spawns in the perfect spot. Here we go. Towards the green side. Can it work? No. He ends up going on the wrong side, and towards the corner we go. Bondo again looking for the pass. Jimmer's up, waiting for it. Gets it up and above Mage. They're finally on the board.
Yeah, finally, this aggressive play where they double commit a lot is finally coming to action. Like, they're both in the box. When that ball goes in, both Jimmer and Bondo are in the box. So if that ball doesn't go in, they're screwed. But thankfully it did. And this is one of the times where this hyper-aggressive play does reap a lot of rewards. And it did for them here. They're up by 1, half the game to go. There's Jimmer.
Killer Penguin, again, sorry to interrupt you there, just donated another 2,100 bits.
Man,
fantastic show, man. On top of the 3,000 he donated earlier, but we might have a play here in front of the green net. Not going to work out. Uh-oh.
Oof, almost went out there by Jimmer and Bondo, but you see that, right? They're still sometimes so like tightly put together that they leave themselves open to plays like these where they're just in the same position, and Stovats, if he finds the right angle, which he is so good at doing, he can win 1v2s like he did there.
Yeah, Bondo didn't get a great touch off the curve there on the wall, and it just kind of just easily sent that towards center. Stovats, perfect placement, made sure that he made the shot exactly what he needed to do. Even if he missed it and it was blocked away, it was still going to be a setup for Mage. So again, Demolition, clearly the superior team right now, and I hate to say that about my buddy Jimmer, but you know, they're just not firing on all cylinders.
I'm telling the teacher, you bullied your best friend Jimmer. What are you gonna do about that? Yeah.
I mean, he'll bully me back later, I'm sure.
That's how friends usually work, right? Yeah, fair enough. There's Jimmer now putting one on net. Mage is there though to stop the ball from going anywhere near his penalty box, and he'll clear one out from the corner. Stovats racing through as well. He misses out, which could mean an opportunity for Jimmer and Bondo. But once again, look at how close they're positioned. That means that one touch can beat both of those players, and that usually is never a good sign because that just gives your opponents maximum efficiency. If with just one touch, they can clear it past both your man.
Bondo looking for the pass out. Mage was there. Jimmer committed completely, trying to break the tie here with just about a minute left. Mage the pass out. Jimmer is there. Mage will squirt the ball towards the center, looking for Stove. Not going to work. Bulls super aggressive again. This is off the corner. Oh, he got the touch, but Mage defended properly. That was a fantastic play by Mage.
Well done from him. 45 seconds to go. The closest any game so far of this series of 5 have been. 38 seconds to go. Jimmer is in a 1v1 at this point up against Stovats. He's got the boosted advantage, but not the positioning advantage. It's a deadlocked 50-50, and he lands in the right spot. A gift from the gods, and Bulls will gladly accept it 2-1.
You know Aries is smiling after that play. Jimmer finds himself in the perfect spot to slam it home. I mean, it just dropped on it. A little bit of luck, and you have to take advantage of whenever you can. Less than 30 seconds, 1 goal lead to hold. They can do it, but that communication needs to improve now.
Gotta be tight communication, tight positioning. Everything just needs to be on point. 20 seconds to go. There's Bondo keeping this one into the corner. Jimmer at the top of his box for goal 3, which will give him some extra stats. It will pad up those stats. He cannot secure it, though, and now his job is to rotate back, play it outwards. Do not commit to this one, Jimmer. I know you want to, but don't do it. Just stay back, get one more clear, and you will have won this game. Stovats is there. Jimmer gets that final clear, and that will do it. They finally take the game. The Bulls has finally done something to take care of Demolition.
But again, the lead for the champion division for the Bulls in the Demolition is still up for grabs. Demolition just need to win one more. They'll have the lead here coming out of week 1. They're playing some seriously solid Rocket League. A couple of double commits there towards the end. And I think once the game goes longer than they're used to without a score, they get a little antsy.
Yeah.
We see that from time to time here at the MLD, where the players just want to get the ball downfield and try to take a shot. They start to group up, start to chase the ball a little bit. They need to refrain from doing that, and I think the Demolition could secure it, as the Bulls it's not their night, man.
Yeah, it wasn't their night, but they are looking to make it their night. If they can, leave with a 3-2 in the series, I think they'll take that. Why not? It's not the worst thing. You're only down one game in the series of 5, and it's not the worst thing to walk away from. So we'll see if the Bulls here in Game 5 of the series of 5 can keep it tight, can restrict Demolition from getting that first place spot in their division. That was an early attempt there from Demolition, and the post is the only thing that kept us at a 0-0. There's Jimmer from the right wing, pushing forward off towards his right post and right wall rather, and Bondo's there to follow it up, but can't get that powerful shot he needed there. Stovads, if he can wrap around this one, actually opts to leave it for Mage to take, and thankfully Mage is not there in time. Bulls are able to recuperate. One on net from Jimmer. Mage though clears this one away.
So close. Jimmer going for the double touch. It was a little bit low for him to react to it, just moving a little too fast. But now, just a minute into Game 5, Bulls playing way more smart. The Demolition are having a really hard time to clear this one away, as a little bit of boost starvation happening, and they're playing super safe. They're waiting for the mistake, and Bulls are really doing their best to not make all the mistakes they've made in the last 4.
Yeah, and a lot of their mistakes, once again, have stemmed from that double commit style, and they're backing off. You saw Bondo went for the ball, and Jimmer instantly said, okay, I'm going to go back to midfield. Some players would go even further past midfield, so Bulls is still keeping their style, but they're not letting it get in the way of them winning, which is a big thing. There's Mage, though, looking to break away here. It's off the top wall. Bondo is in position, as is Jimmer. They'll both commit to it, though, very risky, thankfully. The touch is light enough that Jimmer can follow it up, and Mage flips right past it, just smells the ball, does nothing else. 1-0 for Bulls.
Jimmer, it was kind of risky. Mage was cutting in, but Jimmer found himself in a great spot to make the flick and go for it. Again, the Bulls on the board first, like that was last game. This is the kind of recovery drive they need.
Yeah, and speaking of last game, the biggest difference between last game and the previous 3 were that last game was the first game where the Bulls had more shots on target, and they're looking to continue that streak. 2-0 now, the Bulls in the lead.
These Stovads, he thought about going for it, and Mage was out of position, unfortunately, for the Demolition. It was just a really awkward kickoff. Jimmer able to take advantage of the awkwardness. Plenty of time for the Demolition to come back, as the Bulls attempt to salvage what they can from this series.
Again, Demolition, if they win it, they're their division leaders, but the Bulls does not want that to happen because they're playing in the same division. There's Stovads out towards the left side. Sets himself up for a nice shot. Bondo was there, but Stovads, the amount of pace he put behind that ball, the amount of weight he put behind it was not was enough to stop the save.
And you can see he used the corner of the card. It's something that a lot of people want to try to learn, and Stovads just did it perfectly. He used the corner of the Octane to put a little bit more oomph on that ball. Bondo was there floating and waiting for it. It just, again, that little bit of speed went so far to be near halftime. The Bulls still have that 1-goal lead. Mage towards the net again. Can he double touch? He might, but Bulls starting to double commit on defense. Got to reorganize themselves a little bit. Jimmer does just that. Mage towards the net again. Jimmer to pad away. Jimmer looking for another one. It'll be Stovads to make the flying clear. This is dangerous still. Mage gets there first before Bondo. Now Jimmer needs to be super careful. Stovads to challenge. Oh, Stovads was going to play the hit. Mage comes in, and it'll be a breakaway off the post.
So close, but thankfully the Bulls are not at an equalizing point because they already have so much pressure right now. They do not need any more to be added to that. Stovads, though, will put the pressure right back on an equalized game, 2-2. A minute and 56 to go.
Stove got a great hit off the backboard. Jimmer tried to read it, realized he wasn't going to get there in time, tried to play it off the wall, but now Stovads activated his C4 and balloons are flying.
Another kickoff. There's Mage and Bondo. It's pretty dead even. Jimmer, however, will get there before Stovad does and sets himself up for a second touch, almost secures the lead, and will get a demo in the end. He's not happy with how that last attempt went. He really wanted that one to be goal 3, but at least he got a demo out of it in the end. There he is once again, out towards the left side. Mage, though, will pop one up high. Nice team pass there to secure the clear. Recognize that Stovads had a better angle to make a stronger clear, and it worked out well for them. There's Stovads now, towards the top of the box, looking to cut towards the near post. Bondo, though, gets there first to save. 1:20 to go. Closest game. Maybe Game 4 was closer, but definitely the closest game we've seen with this many goals scored. Game 4 was a very quiet game. Game 5 is just as close, but more exciting in terms of the amounts of shots on net.
Indeed, a lot faster pace, too. It seems like the Bulls finally found their footing. Their hoofing? No, their footing. But lots of space. They're giving each other some room. And that's been the biggest problem in their last 4 games. It's just one of those things. The Demolition are starting to whiff a little bit. They might be getting a little bit tired, not used to playing all 5 games in a 5-game set as opposed to a best of 5. That said, they need to stay in this. They definitely have a chance to take the lead here in their division.
And we'll see if Demolition can pull it off once again. They win this game. They're first place in their division. there they are. Mage and Stovads cleared away out towards the right wing. Jimmer, beautiful pass to Bondo, sneaks it underneath Stovads. An even better save, but a very well executed play there from the Bulls. Perfect pass, perfect shot. Well, it seemed like it was perfect, but Stovads outdid perfect that time around. 8 seconds to go before OT. We'll see if it happens. There's Stovads looking for the long shot. Bondo will be able to clear this one away. Now from the right wall, Bondo, will he opt to dribble it or drop it down to sides? That an overtime is due. And this is it, overtime, golden goal to win Game 5.
Bondo had to wheel it around. He tried to cheat up again. They're definitely in the cheating habit. I mean, the cheat up habit. That's a bad way to word that, is Bondo. Trying to gather some control again. Jimmer wheels it around to defend his net. 15 seconds in. Already the Demolition putting on the pressure. Bondo towards the open net.
Not like this.
Get it. Oh, man. The Demolition. What happened?
What happened, man? That's a great question. They both committed to the play. Stovads way out towards the right corner of the attacking half, and his teammate Mage way out towards the left corner of the attacking half. That means about 80% of the pitch wide open for the Bulls to use, and they used it. Well done from them, capitalizing on a mistake to make sure that Demolition does not get that number 1 spot, and Bulls and Demolition are closer in the leaderboard than they would have been previously. Well done from the Bulls after losing 3 games in a row to come back and win 2 games to at least keep this a very close series overall.
Close series and close division, as well as the 3-2 victory pretty much puts everybody in a tie. The Volcanic division is blown wide open, if you will, like a rift in the Earth's crust here in Week 1. Nobody coming out decidedly on top so far. There is still one more. I believe there is one more game to be played tomorrow in the division. Could be wrong. No, I am wrong. Yeah, it's all done. Pretty much, it's a tie. Just tied. Everybody's tied. We're all just going to throw our hands up and say nobody's winning right now.
Nobody's winning right now. Did I do it right? I think I did right. Yeah, I mean, it is Week 1, so so many more weeks to go. But it's nice to see that even after Week 1, we're still this tight. There's a deadlock, and that's always cool to see. That means Season 6 for MLD, especially the Volcanic division, the Volcano division, is looking to be a very close one and a very fun one. So, stay tuned for the whole season, because why not? What else are you going to do on a Saturday evening? Go out with friends? Lame. Watch Rocket League.
Oh my God. What are those? I don't know what those are.
Don't ask me.
Guys, Play of the Week. If you saw a play that happened just in this last series, and you want to nominate for Play of the Week, hashtag Play of the Week on the Twitter and tag ML Doubles for the heck of it as well to see who's going to win the Big Balls case. Balls Guarana is sponsoring the Play of the Week here at the MLD. Check them out. Get it done. Hop on the Twitters and do all the thing. While you're there, checking out the ML Doubles Twitter page, Arctic is doing a giveaway. They're giving away a PC cooling system. It's fantastic stuff. High quality, well made, all that happy jabby and all that goodness and whatnots. But yes, check out the Gleam giveaway. Arctic Coolers, big sponsor of the MLD. Guys, we'll be right back. More Platinum League action, the Knights and the Pirates. We might even bring in another caster here on twitch.tv.